What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Charlie Moncler back with another video. Man, we got a brand new studio and shit, we got a brand new mic and shit, man. Today I'm gonna show you how to make samples just like Cubeatz, just like Frank Jukes, guys like that, Palace. You already know what's up, so I want you to like, subscribe, and let's get into it. Alright guys, first of all, I'm gonna let you listen to what we're gonna be doing today. Guys, as you can tell, this is extremely fire, so yeah, so we're just gonna break it down step by step. So the first and probably most important thing you guys want to have is your sound selection on point. So when it comes to me, I got this bells, this lead, those strings, bass, another bass, and a guitar. So first of all guys, let's start from the intro. So those strings, what you want to do guys, even before writing your melody, is go here, go to helper, scale highlighting. If you already got some notes, you gotta click automatic. It's gonna identify your scale in the top left corner. In my case it says D minor, but if you guys want to start from scratch, you just go to helper, scale highlighting. You just click on minor natural, and let's say we're gonna go from D. What I always start with guys is my bass notes. First of all, I click in all those, and this is how it sounds like with just the bass notes. So when it comes to clicking in your bass note, you just have to develop an ear for it. You just have to experiment with different notes within your scale. But my rule of thumb guys is you have to have your one, so in my case it's D, either on the first bar or the third bar. In my case it's on the third bar. It just sounds way better when you have it like that. And now guys, when it comes to adding in top notes, you first of all have to concentrate on one or two bars only. Why? Because the best melodies are very repetitive ones. So if you guys can come up with a repetitive catchy pattern, it's gonna really be a game changer for your melody. So I came up with this repetitive pattern. And now guys, what I did next is I copied it over here. It was quite a good melody, but for me it was too repetitive, so I changed some things up at the ends of the second and fourth bars. So I'm gonna let you guys hear the difference now. As you can tell guys, now it's sounding way more interesting. So that was the intro. When it comes to the next part of the sample, it sounds like this. When it comes to the bells, it's basically the same pattern as the strings, and it sounds like this. What I did next is I added a bass from Trillian, from Omnisphere. It's called Minimoog Octa Bass. And it sounds like this. When it comes to those sorts of basses, I really like to have them really short. It just gives it a really nice, like aggressive vibe. And when it comes to the notes of the bass, I actually just copied those notes over and just made it into this pattern. So that's what it sounds like with the bells. And up next we got a crazy lead, full of reverb, full of, you know, lead, and it sounds like this. It just gives a beat a really nice atmosphere, a really nice vibe, and that's what it sounds like with the rest of it. Alright guys, now that we had that, we decided to switch it up a little bit in the next part because we added a guitar, which is a signature sound of Cubeatz, and we also added some Reese Bass. You can actually get this bass by going to your browser and type in Reese. Yeah, it's gonna be here, you just have to click on it and drag it onto your sampler. Just like with the other bass guys, I decided to follow the root notes of the melody, but as you can see guys, in the second part I moved this F up a fifth just to give a beat a more interesting feel. This note right here, as you can tell guys, gave the melody a more interesting vibe, a more aggressive vibe, like a more scary vibe, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to the guitar guys, I also followed the root note of the melody and built some chords around them. And what I did next guys is I arpeggiated them. You just have to move those notes to the right, just like this. And it just gives the melody a different vibe. It just makes them more bouncy. What I did next guys is I just half-timed all this, of course apart from the bass. Alright guys, let's just go straight into those effects. So what you always gotta do guys is route all your melodies to one track on which you're actually gonna be adding effects, you know, so that you don't have to add all the effects to every single melody track because it is gonna kill your CPU. Yeah guys, so as you can tell, I got a lot of effects on this, so we're gonna go one by one. I'm gonna show you what I did to it. So this is how the melody sounds like without all the effects. As you can tell, it's like sounding like shit. You gotta have RC20 on it, you gotta have some wobble. You can actually go with the stereo, but you don't have to, and distort it a little bit. As you can tell guys, it gives it a detune effect, and that's what we're going for when it comes to Cubeatz samples. So guys, up next we got this compressor, and it just sticks it all together. We're using the valve compressor. When it comes to me, I always choose a preset called Sound Whirly. Maybe mess with the compressor a little bit, with lo-fi, and this is what we got. Up next guys, we got this plugin called Low High, and what I use it for guys is it just gives the melody more texture in the low end, as you can see. Up next, of course, we got an EQ, you know, just cutting the low end, some of the high end to make it even more lo-fi. And the last plugin, guys, is called Lossy, and it just further reduces the quality of the sample. When it comes to the preset, my favorite one is 96. You can also play with the filter right here. You can filter out the high frequencies if you want to.